Hey y'all. Welcome to Thank You for Your Obedience with your girl Sam I am. This was a very unplanned episode, so just bear with me. But we got good news. It's definitely a testimony Tuesday, and not only could I not wait to share the deets with y'all, but I was low key told we're not waiting till next week. We need the details now. So we're giving the people what they want. Okay? Before we get into it, thank you for everybody for y'all love and support and y'all prayers and y'all motivation and y'all push because the push is pushing, okay? For real. Um, y'all know why I'm here. Y'all know why I'm here because this is a very, 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 very distinctive, wonderful, just just a moment in my life, and I shared it with everybody, and we're gonna talk about it today. We're gonna talk about how God really moves. Okay, we're gonna talk about it today. We are talking about how I accidentally graduated. Yeah, I use my words very intentionally because it was an accident. And when I say it was an accident, it's because I wasn't in school, y'all. If that don't if that don't shake you right there, then I don't know. I don't know what will because I was not in school. So we're gonna go straight into it. So over this time of growth and elevation, God has really been growing me for sure, for sure. To where I can really see his miracle signs and wonders. Very vividly, I know it's God. I know it's not a coincidence. I know I'm not getting lucky. I know it's straight up God. Jehovah, go Jehovah. Okay, period. And so, if y'all follow me, then this is just kind of gonna be like a run through of a bunch of episodes, but this is just gonna sum it up real quick. So, back in 2020, as much as COVID was a destruction and a curse to everybody, it was a blessing to me. It got me out of an industry that I was in and been trying to get out of, but I'd already told God before COVID even happened, this was my last season in this industry. So, of course, shut everything down, push me out that industry into the industry I am now. And while everybody was getting their unemployment checks, I was going to work. I had found a job. I was working literally 12 hours a day or night. It didn't matter, whatever shift was available, to make sure I could maintain my life. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what was going on with unemployment. I didn't know, and I wasn't going to chance it. So when I got an opportunity to get back out there to work and make my own ends meet, I did. And the Lord continued to provide. The same money y'all was getting for y'all checks, I had just secured the same bag. For real, for real. And at that time, that's when y'all got them good old stimulus checks. Now, they said that I kind of spent my stimulus check wrong, but I took my stimulus check and went back to school. So that was the end of 20, the top of 2021. I was acing school, getting back in school, just to be clear, it's just my associates, but I did it, y'all. Getting back in school or whatever. And summertime of 21, I got real sick. I got real sick, and it was not even on some not even on some cancer thing or any type of really, really hardship of sickness. But when that scripture say he will lay you down in green pastures, sometimes the pastures is not the pasture that you think. Sometimes he'll lay you down in green pastures to get you to sit down and relax so you can recharge because you've been going too much. And like I said, I didn't get a break in COVID. I worked the whole time. The whole time. And was elevated the whole time. So maybe I didn't know how to sit down. And I was dealing with some very crucial things in my life. Very crucial things. So I was hospitalized for 2 weeks. Was out of work for another month. You know what I'm saying? So financially and mentally, I was not equipped to continue my studies at the time. Like, I was just trying to gather myself and try to figure out, like, what just happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can a boil, like, I had a boil, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I had a boil, and that kept me in, that turned into like a month and a half. That turned into literally like 3 months, 4 months of internal healing, because I didn't get stitches when they had to do what they need to do. They left my wounds open. Like, that'll preach right there, period. So I wasn't in school. So that was fall 2021. 2022, one of the worst years of my life. Um, but in that time, I started healing. You know what I'm saying? Which now, like, how everything is just coming together. Like, it's nothing but God. But I'm gonna get there. So, as I'm picking myself up, what are we now? 2023, top of 23. I'm like, I'm still gonna go back to school. Like, I'm still gonna do all the things. You know what I'm saying? And so, of course, going back to school is on my list. I had talked about it with my group. I had talked about it with my recent boss, because she was like, "What are your plans?" I'm like, "Well, if the job gonna pay for most of it, I might as well just try to go." So I'm just doing all the things to go to school. So one of the things to get set up for school was just register. So I'm like, all right, let me register for fall term. I couldn't even register because I had been already out of school for more than 3 semesters. And it got to the point where it's like, if you've been out of school for more than 3 semesters, you had to reapply. So I went through the whole process. I reapplied to be reinstated to go back to school. So got the email that said, welcome back, here are all the steps. So the first step was speaking to an advisor. And I needed to speak to an advisor anyway, because I didn't really know what class I needed to finish my degree plan. I knew it was only like one or two, but I didn't know what they were, and I couldn't really tell on the degree plan what I needed, right? So yesterday, Monday, I don't even know what today it is. Yesterday, Monday, what, the 8th? Yeah, Monday the 8th. I called an advisor. Like, hey, just trying to get back into school. I didn't reapply it again. I just need to know what classes I take. He's like, sure, not a problem. He's like, I'm sending you the steps to be able to look at your degree. And whatever says unsatisfied is what you need to take. So I'm like, okay, cool. So he's on the phone with me at the same time, like, while I'm looking at this. And so when I click the paper, all I see is satisfied. It said non-satisfied, but there wasn't a space or a class where it actually told me what I needed to take. So before I could even say, like, hey, it don't say what I don't take, he was like, he stopped and he was like, hey, you're done. And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean I'm done? And he was like, you're done. You have all the credits that you need to satisfy this degree plan. He said the only credit that they have that you need is like an intro to college credit for the people that have never experienced college and don't know what to do. He said, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a request to administration, suggesting that they sub out the class that they're requiring you to take for a class you already took. And so he's looking at the list and he's like, but they might not approve it. He's like, I don't think they approve it. He's like, because none of the classes that you've taken are any of the classes that they have set aside as a substitute. He's like, so if that's the case, just take something you're really interested in. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not tripping because I'm already like, my mind is set up that I need to finish this degree plan, right? So he's like, he sends it off or whatever. All I did was send I rallied the troops, okay? I rallied all my prayer warriors. And I was like, hey, y'all, so this is what's happening. I think I secured my degree. I said, I don't know yet. He told me these, and this. He said, I just need y'all to pray. They're like, we got you. We got you. We got you. We got you. Leave it at that. This morning, mind you, I didn't get an email. I didn't get a notification. I didn't get a ding. I didn't get nothing. This morning, something said, just check your account. Like, check your school records. I'm like, okay, cool. So before, when I checked my records, it had a pie chart with all these, like, different colors on it, right? Don't show you too much. It just have a pie chart where your, like, academic records are. When I signed into that thing, y'all, that thing turned green and said satisfied. What? Are you telling me that I graduated? So I don't know what this exactly means. You know what I'm saying? So I get back on a Zoom call, back in an advisor, told her the same thing. She looked it over. She said, yep, I'm submitting it right now. She said, go press this and this and go apply for graduation. If that is not God, I don't know what is, y'all. Like, I don't know what is. And I had to share it with everybody. And I had to share it and use the intentional words that I use to show y'all, not by my might, by his might, by God's might, period. Like, it would be different if I was in school and somebody said, oh, congratulations, I didn't even know you was in school. I wasn't. I was trying to get back in. I wasn't. And I don't think, and like I said, it was a time and a season for this, because I wouldn't have been able to say, I probably would have, but not this strongly, be able to say, like, look what God did, y'all. Like, I wouldn't have been able to say it. It would have been just like, yo, I did it. I worked hard. I got the degree, yada, yada, yada. No. Because that degree sat for 2 years without anybody calling me, telling me, hey, apply for graduation, nothing. You know? It was for this divine time, because of what I am doing and how boldly I am proclaiming the gospel, that he was like, I'm going to do it right now so you can tell everybody. You can tell everybody it was me. Like, period. And I'm shooketh. Y'all, I am really shooketh. Okay? And not only did God do this for me, this was on my list. If anybody know and been paying attention, I have been preaching to y'all about this 300 list that I've been trying to write. It's very hard. I'm at like 150, y'all. It's not that easy to be petty with God. But God say, and how my leader says, come to God with your unreasonable requests. Come to God with your regular request, but also come to him with your unreasonable request. And I've been getting real petty with my list and still cannot get to 300. But I can tell you what like 130 something was to complete my associate's degree. So God did that. Okay? Okay? Yo! I'm so excited. Like, and God has really been using me. Like, day to day. Yesterday's testimony, without putting his business out there, yesterday my friend texted me early in the morning and was like, did you pray for me? And I was like, sure did. Because I did. Because what y'all don't know about my friend is my friend was damn near on his last leg. Okay? And only thing I prayed for, because I didn't have the physical things to be able to help him, but all I had was prayer. And even when I couldn't give to him what he needed, I still pray for him. And I literally was just like, Lord, just keep him covered. Just keep him covered in the best way you know how. And I say that very clearly because covering, having a shelter was something that he was about to be lacking. Like, for real, for real. And so when he said, did you pray for me? I said, I sure did. He just sent me a text that was like, congratulations, you have been approved for da 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 da. Something that he been waiting for to keep him secure in his covering. But that's not the flex. The flex is that my friend knew and had the faith to know that I pray for him, that he know that he is connected to somebody with that don't even know who they are. I don't know who I am, y'all. I am just a vessel. And I would continue to reiterate that I am just a vessel. Like, I don't know what I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm just being me. So I don't know the effects. And I understand my brother, shout out to Daryl Walls. My brother Daryl Walls really convicted me with that notion. We were talking about something and he talked about how he was scared and how he was nervous about something. And out of my mouth, I said, but it's you. And he said, I hate when people say that. And I am the same way. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. And I didn't even think that was going to preach, but I am the same way. When people come to me and be like, but it's you. And I'm like, but when you are you, you don't know the effects of you. You don't know what you're giving to people. You don't know what people are receiving from you. You don't know when it's coming out of you. You do not know, And so being in that space where God is literally revealing himself, not revealing himself, but revealing himself to me, through me, by showing me. And I know it sounds very selfish. It sounds really selfish. But this is coming from a person that has spent their whole life being selfless. I have literally given myself away till there was nothing left. Okay? Like, nothing. And now I feel like, ooh, I'm getting emotional. Now I feel like God is making sure that I get everything I need from everyone. Like, y'all, I don't have it. Okay? Like, but I still give it because I know the Lord will provide. I said it last episode. The Lord is my shepherd. I have all that I need in LT version. Okay? Like, the prayer, what is it? I can't even get the whole thing. I'm gonna say it wrong, but the fervent prayers of the righteous availeth much. It's like, basically it's translated to like, the prayers of the righteous are full of like power. You know what I'm saying? And I might not do everything right. I do not do everything right. At least in my eyes. I might not do everything right in your eyes, but for some reason, God is continuously showing me that I'm doing right in his sight. And as long as it is in his sight, I am good. Like, this is my story, y'all. Like, I cannot make this up. I couldn't make it up if I wanted to. I cannot make this up. Like, this is literally just God, like, really showing out and really showing out through me. Like, I don't even feel like I'm worthy. And because I don't feel like I'm worthy, he continues to show me that I'm worthy. And it's crazy because, like, this past Sunday, the name of our next series at our church is called The Book of Acts. This is our story. So God is literally just, I always say practically, y'all, practically and realistically showing me his acts. And he wants me to tell my story, like, I'm all messed up, y'all, because God is really using me. God is really seeing me, like, and God is making sure that everybody gives me everything that I need. I feel like sometimes God keep me from having me get everything that I need. So he's like, no, we chill on that right now. Continue to do what I ask you to do and let me have everybody do the rest and receive it. And so that's what I'm doing, y'all. I am literally just receiving this joy. Because joy come in the morning. It's morning time. Uniqua said it on Sunday. It is morning time. It's morning time somewhere. It might be the evening right now, but it's morning time somewhere. I assure you. And in the morning, there is joy. Weeping may do for a night, weeping for the nighttime. But joy comes in the morning. And y'all, I had a bad morning. It was something going on. It was some real domestic going on in my apartments because this lady was banging on the door. So I did not know this day was going to be like this. But I think because I was so calm, he was just like, thank you for your obedience. That's literally all I'm doing, you guys. Is just being obedient and showing up. And like my friend Bria said, my friend Bria had a what also God has been doing is putting me on people's hearts, putting me on people's minds, putting me in people's prayers. My friend prayed for me, and literally she said she got a whole vision of what God gave her in detail about me. And she texts me the whole thing in detail. And I couldn't do nothing but cry because it was so big. It's one thing for somebody to say, I pray for you, and God told me this. But actually for somebody to take the time and put it in detail, bar for bar, it was long, y'all. And she said something, and she said that your gift of like showing up is not small. It's not small at all. You think it's small, but it's not small. Saying things like that. She had this very vivid vision of me, and then she said when I seen her in person, I hugged her and I just cried. And she said, "Do you know who the only person I've ever had that dream or vision about is Ray, and that's my pastor. And if anybody know how I feel about Raven Johnson, you would know that is a huge compliment. God has elevated me in every single way of my life in a very small amount of time. He has elevated the closeness for me and my pastors. That is something I wanted because I did not feel worthy to be close to them. He has elevated me in the closeness of me and my pastors. He has elevated me in the school system. He's elevated me in my career. I've been elevated every year since 2020. I have 3 different badges to show you the 3 different stages that I have been in since the pandemic, and God continues to elevate and provide. I have only been at this current job that I'm in right now 1 month, and I've already been elevated to a space that they're like, "You're working with who? Oh my God, that's huge." I don't know. I'm just here. Like, and instead of running away from it because that's something I do, I am a hider for sure. Like, because everybody has fumbled the bag, everybody in one way, shape, or form has fumbled this bag. I don't know my worth. I can be very transparent about that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm starting to walk up with my head held high, but a lot of times I kind of walk my head down. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to see the reactions of people as I walk by. I just don't. I just don't. But I'm definitely in a season of life now where God is literally calling all the nations to me. I have people, my boss is Vietnamese. She's in awe of me. This lady that works very next to me, she's from India. She's in awe of me. Somebody from Pakistan is in awe of me. I work with somebody from Greece, is in awe of me. Spanish, black, white. When I say a lady, she is very stealth that I work with, that don't talk to nobody, do her 8 and hit the gate. Okay? Like, she's here to work and that's nothing else. She literally stopped me. When I say I'm so appreciated at work, they value my presence. And that's huge for me. At church, they value my presence. Now, in my parents, they value my presence. It ain't always been like that. It ain't always been like that. So for God to really use the hardest of people and soften them up, all for little old me, I do not take that for granted. This lady said, I don't have a relationship like that with people around here. I've never been able to have a conversation with people around here. But for some reason, I can talk to you. For some reason, you just brighten up the whole place. Like, for some reason, I just don't understand, but I'm glad you're here. These compliments have been so huge and so major to receive, but I have to receive them. That's what I'm working on. I'm working on receiving everything in the biggest and smallest ways, from a compliment to actual gesture to somebody offering to pay something for me. So anything I'm working on receiving, because I always feel like I have to give somebody something back. Always. Always. And God is like, tighten up. Tighten up. Because if you can't receive this, then you ain't ready. You ain't ready for what I have in store for you. Cause baby, he got something in store for me. I don't know what it is. I can't see it because it's not right there. I literally have to have the faith to believe it. Because the only reason why I know, the evidence that I know, is that all the little people y'all love, all the little people y'all clout chase, all the little people y'all want to meet, God is surrounding me with them. And in those moments that I feel so small, they make me feel so big and so necessary. But it ain't me, y'all. I will continue to stand on that. It is not me. I am just a vessel. I am just a vessel, being obedient, telling my story. So that's the story of how I accidentally graduated. God did it, y'all. Like, God did it. It wasn't me. I promise y'all it wasn't me. God did it. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Because the day of Pentecost is coming. That's something we learned. That's what we learned about on Sunday. The day of Pentecost is something where the Holy Spirit dwelled and hit everybody like fire. And when I say fire in my veins, y'all, and it's crazy. That's why I said next. It wasn't this episode I was supposed to give y'all, but Destiny, shout out to Destiny. Destiny said next week. No, we need the deets now. So I'm giving the people what they want. Shout out to Destiny for pushing me. That's another one of them gentle, sweet, obedient people that is just rising and sitting on the right hand of moguls. And y'all probably didn't. Y'all probably like, how she? Because she's been obedient. She's been steadfast. She's been a woman of God. She's been a sweetheart. She's been doing what she's supposed to do to get where she is. And so it was literally from good old Destiny that I was like, I got to show up. I got to show up for the people and give the people what they need. So, next episode, y'all, literally falls around the day of Pentecost. And the day of Pentecost, in actuality, because what also has been happening to me for the last couple of years is that God is shifting the stigma of holidays for me. I've experienced. I don't have it no more. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't have it no more. I've experienced seasonal depression in many ways, as far as like when the actual weather seasons change. But holidays for me ain't always the best. And this particular holiday, which is coming around, is not the best for me. But what God is doing is taking that bad stigma that has been on holidays for me and making it some of the biggest memories and best memories of my life. And you know how you forget dates? Well, I can't forget the dates if it's on these holidays, holy days. So, the day of Pentecost is actually like 365 days of healing for me. The day of Pentecost for 2023 is May 28th. May 28th, Memorial season, was very hard for me. Very hard for me. And God finna turn that thing on around. I don't know what's finna happen, but something finna happen. I feel it. It's finna be major. Even this episode that I'm finna drop around that season is finna be major. So just stay tuned, y'all. Stay tuned to continue to see what God do through this vessel that I am. So thank y'all. Oh, that fly tried to take me out. So sorry. Um, Thank y'all. Shout out to Coco for letting me use the garden to record. I love y'all. Just stay tuned. It's fly. I like it. But I love y'all.